All right, here we are again. This is the SMEDC podcast. This is episode number 2.
Dos.
And I am Tony Bomba.
Quay, aka Miss Tony Bomba.
And this episode is titled... what is this episode titled?
I don't even know. What we gonna title it?
I don't know. We got that track called Memories, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess you want to call it Memories?
Yeah, let's call it Memories.
Let's call it Memories. This is episode number 2, titled Memories. For the people who didn't, please go into my link on Instagram or check out my YouTube page and go check out the first episode. You definitely want to get caught up. The first episode was like an introduction. What you think?
I think we were just, I'm gonna be real. I'm shy anyway, so Boo told me I gotta be cooler on this one, so I'm gonna give y'all a lot of coolness on this one, okay? But anyways, the first one was just an intro. We still getting used to getting the swing of things. Great minds think alike, because I was just about to say that we want to thank everyone that did listen.
Yeah, because we got like over 50-something views in a week. We didn't think we were going to get over 50-something views.
I know I didn't. I definitely didn't.
I'm sure, we're going to continue to rise. Ain't nothing.
The goal is to get more views on every episode. That is the goal.
Please help. If you can, like, comment, share, continue to send those questions in. Oh yeah, we have been receiving questions, and we're definitely going to answer some of those questions and bring up some of those topics that some of y'all have sent to my email at arkingholl@gmail.com. Again, that is arkingholl@gmail.com. Also, thank y'all for the PayPal, the sending the dollars or however much you sent to my PayPal for those accounts. Like I said, I sent y'all those MP3s, so like I said, I really do appreciate it. Y'all are putting food on my table and keeping lights on in my house and keeping this podcast going. There's also buying you that hair you got on your head too.
We throwing shots.
No, it's no shot.
No, you done started it. You done started the war, so just be ready.
It's no shots. There's no shots.
That was definitely shots fired, but it's cool because I got a couple.
But we gonna like I said, we thank everybody for everything. Please continue to tune in and support, subscribe, and share and stuff like that. But don't get it twisted. This show is here to bring awareness to a lot of things. Our relationship, like I said, if you haven't caught up, we've been together for 10 plus years, been married for 3 years, 2 kids, and getting to that point, hey, it was not easy. But like I said, this show is here to show you that young love is still here, and it's still here, and you got to work together and build together and do things together. And this is people relationships always crumble because one person doesn't have time for another person. And here it is, I was doing my music thing and I wanted to do this podcast thing, and
AKA he's putting me to work, y'all. Let's just put it like that. He's putting me to work. No. Don't let him fool you. This ain't about time. He putting me to work.
This is not work. She enjoys this. If y'all check the last podcast out, she enjoys this. But like I said, this is here for inspirational purposes, educational purposes, and also for us to learn and for us to communicate better and for us to talk our problems and situations out and some of the things that's on our heart and on our minds, so we can continue to be forever soulmates. What you think? What you think? What you think, Quay? What you got to say about that?
I think you fronting for these people. I'm gonna put it like that.
You think I'm fronting?
Mm-hmm.
No, I ain't fronting. But one of the topics that we had came up with. This was one of our topics. We'll get to somebody else's topic a little bit later. That was a good topic too. But one of the topics that had came to us was I want to say I don't knock nobody to a certain extent, and I say that to a certain extent because, you know, I don't know how people was brought up and what they got to do and how they got to live their life now and things like that. But, you know, it came to our attention, you know, as far as the topic we was thinking about, what if I was a drug dealer, you know, or what if, you know, you had a friend that was her husband or her boyfriend or baby daddy or whatever was a drug dealer. How would you feel about that? Like, would you feel some type of way, or would you be cool with it because, you know, y'all flossing and living life? And even not for the ones that's not flossing and living life, you know, how are you still sticking beside him and while he doing what he's doing, and with the kids, losing kids or losing lives, or, you know, all that stuff. So we, you know, that's one of our topics, and we're gonna go ahead and hop off into that. So Quay, what if I was a drug dealer, and, you know, we was flossing, you know, taking trips, you know, I was buying you nice things, and, you know, riding nice cars and things like that. Would you know, be cool with that?
Well, first, I'm going to say to each its own, but me personally, anybody that knows me knows I don't do, and no shade, but I don't do
no shade,
the jailbirds and the writing and the putting money on the phone and the you gonna be gone and I'm holding you down for 3 years or whatever it might be. I'm not getting into that. I'm not gonna do that. I need my man here at home taking care of business. I don't need him in jail.
Right.
Trying to run things or take care of business from jail. You can't do nothing for me from jail. Even if you are, you know, flossing or whatever. And that's the thing about choosing that path.
Right.
Is I don't see anybody that has chosen that path that's at a point now where they own their own company, they got a 401k, you know, I do you know anybody like that?
I can't say I do.
Yeah, I know them where they might be flossing now.
Right.
But it leads 90% of the time one or two ways.
Right. And what is that?
It ends in prison or it ends in death.
So you telling me if we wasn't hopping out in the fur coats, fur hats, big diamond rings, hopping out the jets, hopping into Maybachs, partying with so and so eating dolphin skin on Cabana Island and dolphin skin. You wouldn't be down with that?
No, because to me, like, you can't enjoy that because you always looking over your shoulder. You always, like, how can you enjoy that when you got to be looking over your shoulder, making sure somebody ain't trying to rob you, making sure the feds ain't after you, making sure, like, who wants to live like that? How can you really enjoy that when you constantly got to be on edge like that? Now, if you do it the legit way, man, I'm telling you, fur coats, Maybachs or whatever, all of that,
Maybach,
whatever, all of that, without having to look over your shoulder and worry about. Well, you don't have to worry about somebody robbing you anyway if you flossing like that. But
so, how do you feel about some of, you know, I'm sure you have friends or you have associates or people you know you grew up with or whatnot, you know, and you see that, you know, they might deal with somebody. It might be their baby daddy, it might be somebody they with for a while or something like that. And, you know, they're sitting there, you know, being with that person because it boils down, especially if they got kids. How you think feel about, you know, about the kid situation? How you gonna be a woman and then let that go down like that for them to, like you say, either be dead or jail, enjoy that 1 second, then that person get locked up or they get killed, and now here they go without a daughter. I mean, the daughter or the son without a father.
like I said, to each his own. I'm not throwing shade at nobody.
No shade.
If that's what they choose to do, and that's what they choose to involve themselves with,
Right.
that's them. Now, as a friend, if it's somebody that I necessarily care about,
Right.
I might go to them and express, concerns.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the difference is me I knew before I got involved with you,
Right.
or before I started dating, or before any of that stuff, that there were just certain people that I wasn't gonna be interested in because I knew that that's not even for me.
Right.
I knew that I wouldn't, that's not what I'm looking for. Now you can't knock somebody that may have necessarily fell in love with that.
Right.
So, that's them at the end of the day. I just feel like if that is what they're gonna do, I don't even know if there is a right way to do it. But do it to where you can get out. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't do it to where you ain't gonna be doing nothing but being in the streets all day, every day, forever, and you're not getting nowhere.
Right.
That's the thing I don't understand is these people that do it and is still struggling.
Right.
That's the part that I really don't understand. Is the people that's doing it and don't have nothing to show for it.
Wow, you heard what she said. The people that still doing it don't have nothing to show for it. Wow, we already know that this is going to be a hot topic. You have anything to say about that? Chime in with the questions, the comments, or you also can send them questions and comments below, or to the email arkingholl@gmail.com. Like I said, the topic is what you gonna do. You got y'all women out here, y'all want to be a trap queen, right? Or y'all gonna want to raise y'all level of what y'all need in a man, or you just gonna continue to let your man either be buried in the ground or go do that time in jail and destroy another family. Let me hear what y'all opinion is on that situation, man. But what we about to do now, we about to go into the track called Hustle. Like I said, I previewed this track last week. It's also on my SoundCloud. And I'm very thankful for the ones who sent in the money as far as those for the MP3. So if you haven't, and if you want any of those tracks, like I said, this track I'm about to play, if you want, or the other track you hear in the background or whatnot, arkingholl@gmail.com. That's my PayPal. And you send $1 there, I will send you the MP3 of the track. So like I said, hear this track called Hustle, man. Check it out. Tell me what you think. Peace. You know they can keep up the hustle. You know they can keep up the hustle. You know they can keep up the hustle. No, they can keep up the hustle. No, they can keep up the hustle. No, they can keep up the hustle. You know 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 they can keep up the hustle.
I keep up the hustle while running this struggle. This marathon, this earth we on. Yeah, I sit up and count on my blessings. Yeah, I sit up and count on my blessings. Hell no, boy, we ain't stressing. Hell no, boy, we ain't stressing. We just out on the road, sometimes alone, not paying attention to them signs. Always on the high. They push a button and we die. We push a button and they lie. We live one big lie. So where the hell is the truth? Is it me or is it you? I be preaching up in this booth, never reaching up in this booth. Rap how it is in this booth, tell how it is in this booth. God sent me and then poof. I disappeared on the hustle, I reappeared on my hustle. I can't forget this struggle, no I can't forget this struggle. Lost my brother up in that struggle, could've lost myself in that struggle. I survived the struggle for another one, devil go and get a bigger gun. Cause I got 100 problems, and you ain't one, no you ain't one. I keep up the hustle, while running this struggle, this marathon, this earth we on. Yeah, I sit up and count on my blessings. Yeah, I sit up and count on my blessings. Hell no, boy, we ain't stressing. Hell no, boy, we ain't stressing. If you don't know by now, the hustle is struggle. The struggle is hustle, they build up my muscles. I'm all for war, but I'm all for peace. After the devil deceased, I'm back working these beats. I'm back tweaking these beats. May these beats rest in peace. May my problems rest in peace. May my brother rest in peace. Always preaching up in this piece, never reaching up in this piece. Shut life off in this piece. I hustle up in this piece. Don't forget to struggle up in this piece. Get it up and muscle up in this piece. I keep up the hustle while running this struggle, this marathon, this earth we on. Yeah, I I sit up and count on my blessings. Yeah, I sit up and count on my blessings. Hell no, boy, we ain't stressing. Hell no, boy, we ain't stressing. I sit up and count on my blessings. I sit up and count on my blessings. Count on my blessings. I sit up and count on my blessings. I sit up and count on my blessings. I sit up and count on my blessings. Hell no, boy, we ain't stressing. 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 I sit up and count on my blessings. I sit up and count on my blessings. I sit up and count on my blessings. I sit up and count on my blessings.
Man, that track is crazy, man. Like I said, that track right there is called Hustle, man. I'm getting some great reviews from that track, man. I'm definitely think about shooting a video to that track. So, you know, I'm go ahead and put that out there in the atmosphere. Yeah, video coming soon for that track, man. Directed by me, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, do my thing on it. You know, I'm about to drift off into that area and you know, do what I gotta do in do what I gotta do in that video area. Like I said, that track is called Hustle. You can get that track from me for $1, of course. MP3. All you gotta do is send $1 to my PayPal account. That is ARKINGHOLL@gmail.com. You send $1 to my PayPal account, hey, I seen an MP3. But we're about to go ahead and get back into that topic that we were speaking on. You want to be a trap queen or you want to raise your kids and make a family. Here we go. This is the SMEDC Podcast. So, if you had a friend that was in that situation and you know, say you was getting some of the benefits from it. You know, you was getting a coach purse handed down to you. You was getting lunch and dinner on them.
Seriously.
Yeah, seriously. What? You know, and you got to ride in the Benz.
No, negative.
What would you have to say to them, man? What would you try to, you know, hit them with? What would you try to say to them?
My whole thing is, I don't even know if there's a right way to do it, but if you are gonna do that, have a plan. That's the thing that I'm not seeing with a lot of these, and I'm gonna say young men.
How you know they ain't got no plan though?
Because like what you see plan. I just asked you if you see anybody that got 401ks that been in the game and stuff like that. If they got their own business, do they make a plan to get out?
I got you.
That's what I'm saying. Do they have a plan? Do they say, I'm gonna do this? I'm going to put this much away, and I'm going to get out in this amount of time, and I'm going to invest, and I'm going to do this, so that my family don't have to worry about this forever. This is not my career that I'm choosing.
Right.
This is what I'm doing to get to where I got to get to.
Right.
And I don't see that happening for a lot of the young men, women, or whoever that's choosing that path.
Right. I feel you. That's I'm sure some other women, you know, they'll look at you. How you think they look at it though? Honestly, if you was if you had to put yourself in their shoes, like how you really think they look at it? Do you think that maybe they just trying to, you know, love them so much that they can't do no, or is it that they don't want more for their man and want more for their children because, you know, I told you it's all about the kids, man.
Everybody is different. That is what I will say. Everybody's raised differently. Everybody have different standards and morals, and everybody want different things. To some women, they might just want to be fly, and they really don't care if it's at the expense of their husband being in jail, or their boyfriend, or their man, or their baby daddy, or whatever being in jail. Long as they got them 22 inches of Brazilian hair and them red bottoms, and they get to ride around in the flyest whips and all of that, they're cool. They don't, that other, you know, they'll deal with that for that.
Right.
Me, no, you know, that stuff don't excite me. And again, no shade, because to each its own. If that's what you like and that's what excites you and that's what you want and you're happy with that,
right,
more power to you. That's not gonna make me happy. I need my man here for me to be happy. I need my man here for my children to be happy.
right.
You know, that other stuff don't excite me. You need to be here. You need to be safe. You need to be well. I don't need to be worried about you being in the streets and all that other stuff for me and my children to be happy.
But do you think I can kick enough game to you to confuse your mind and cloud your mind and like, hey, baby, look, this I'm only going to be doing this for, you know, so-and-so. But right now, you know, let's go ahead and take this vacation trip. You know, Las Vegas. Let's stay at the Trump Towers. Let's do this and let's do that. And, you know, when I get back, you know, everything's squared away. I got this dude taking care of this and that taking care of that. So I just need, you know, give me 5-10 years and, you know, we're going to be all right.
Me?
Yeah.
You've been with me long enough to know better. You've been with me long enough to know better. That ain't flying. That's not flying.
I feel you.
Now, other women? Possibly.
Some of them get played just for a happy meal and stuff. I was talking to my grandfather and grandmother today. I said nowadays, you know, women. Oh, I don't even want to say women. Yeah, I say women and, you know,
girls.
Young girls. You know, all they want is a piece of meat and a happy meal and a child.
It's sad.
That's it. All they want is a piece of meat, and you know what I mean by when I say a piece of meat. They want a piece of meat. They want a happy meal, and they want a child.
It's sad. But again, this is getting way off of where we were talking about.
No,
but
that's part of it.
You gotta remember why that's the standard too.
Why is that the standard?
Because men really not offering. I'm not gonna say all men, but young men. Our age group, for instance, it's very hard to find a man that's offering more than that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's hard. So they get to the point where they're like, well, if I can get that, you know, we gonna rock with that.
So you saying women probably need to step up and tell their man, hey, I need you to do something.
Expect more. You have to. We as women, young women, and I'm saying young women because I'm talking about our age group, have to expect more from their men.
Right.
And I hear people say all the time, well, they're young. They're young. They're young. Everybody said we was young too. I remember when my parents, when we were in high school, was like, oh, that's just puppy love. Look what puppy love evolved into. So it wasn't just puppy love. It might have been at that point, but you know, people didn't take it serious. It is, but people, you gotta think about it. When I remember when I was in high school, my parents didn't take us seriously. You're like, oh, it's just puppy love. But puppy love turned into something way bigger than anybody probably imagined at that point. But that's off topic. But we as women have to expect more. If you set the bar down low,
right,
and you make it okay,
right,
for men to just reach that low bar,
right,
that's all they're gonna do. That's all they're gonna do. They're not gonna strive to go above and beyond the bar. If they getting away with being down here.
I feel you on that. I truly do feel you on that. I feel you on that.
Honestly, if it was me and you, and I didn't expect all that I expect from you, and as long as all you did was work every once in a while, pay 1 or 2 bills, gave me 1 day out the week, dealt with your children every once in a while. If that was all that I expected you to do, you'd be living the life of Riley, right? You'd get to do whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, and you're like, damn, you know, my girl is easy to get along with. I ain't got to do much.
Right.
I got to pay 1 or 2 bills. I get to do whatever the hell I want to do with the rest of my money. Get to run around in these streets all day.
All right. So you, that's another each its own thing. Why won't you tell these women, why won't you be a leader of the women or you know, the younger women generation, tell them, hey, look, you got a mic right here to tell them, whoever's going to listen, hopefully they listening, you can tell them, hey, want more? Go ahead. tell them want more from their man.
I tell them want more from their man, but at the same time, boo, these young women, they're not trying to hear that.
I got you.
These young women,
they think they know it all.
Oh, thank you. You took the words right out my mouth. They're like, who are you to tell me anything?
Right.
And if they think they got more money than you or anything like that, they're like, oh, what is she talking about? You don't have nothing more than I do.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I might not have more money financially than that person might have, but I've been in a 10+ relationship.
You gotta tell them you got a podcast.
I got a podcast. I got a podcast. Like, that's the kicker. But anyways, they're not trying to listen. Just like the young men, it's hard. It's hard to get people to listen. Then we're young too, so people think we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you're right about that. Like I said, we ain't got all the answers, but damn if we ain't known them, hitting them on the head or something.
And the difference is we're trying.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
We're actually
only blue people try. It's either you do or you don't. It ain't no such thing as trying.
Blue people?
Yeah.
Where'd you hear that from?
There's no such thing as blue people.
Oh.
So you either do or you don't. There's no trying.
That went right over my head.
Yeah, she's slow. I'm sure a lot of people missed that.
I was about to say, make sure y'all comment and tell me if y'all got that too, because I don't make me feel like the only slow one.
But yeah, it's either you do or you don't. It's either you do or you don't. It's either you do or you don't. Any last words on that whole situation?
I'ma just say, for the ones that is the path that you have chosen, make a plan. Make a plan to get out. Make a plan for your family. Make a plan, and I hate to say this, but it's the reality of the situation. In the instance that things do go left, have a plan B. What's your backup? You got a lawyer on retainer, or you just gonna go with a court-appointed lawyer? You got money put up for your family when you're not there no more? Make a plan. Have a plan. And women, please help them. Set bigger expectations of them so they know that they can't do this forever. Set the expectation that, look, this might be doing what you're doing now, but in a year, this ain't going to be enough. This ain't going to work. That way they have something to strive for. Y'all let them do it so they're going to continue to do it. But it's different for people that don't have no other choices. I got kids, so at the end of the day, I feel like if it got to that point, God forbid, I would do whatever I have to do for my children. So,
My take on the situation is, like I said earlier, I can't knock nobody, but man, I want to see everybody, all people, all races, do better, man. Like, we don't have to, we don't have to go that route. We don't have to go that route. Learn to use your hands, man. Get out here, cut some trees down. You build a farm. Pick up trash. Anything. Don't go down that route. You can find another way. You can find another way to get some cash. And forget all the shining and blinging and flossing and stuff, man. Believe people. There's no need, especially my younger generation. You like what you try? Like what they say? They said you're trying to floss for somebody that don't like you. I forgot what they said. They said, well, you're trying to floss for somebody that don't like you, that you don't care about, and it was I forgot what they said, but you get what I'm trying to say. And for my women, man, out there, like my wife said, make sure you ask for more. Make sure you want more. Make sure you want more, because if you're not pushing your man to do more, if you're not telling your man, look, I need you to get off that corner. I need you to go to school. I need you to get a job and keep the job, or something like that. You got to push your man to want things. That's why I did this podcast, That's why I do things like what I do to keep my mind going and doing things to, be the next or do the next, or be the first. And I'm definitely always looking for help or whatnot. So, learn to build with other folks and build something bigger than what type of empire you're trying to build or whatnot. I gotta look at the camera. All right, come on. We'll take the picture. But like I said, this is the SMEDC Podcast, and this episode is called Memories. And, we'll be back with the next topic. I am Tony Bamba, and this is
Quay, a.k.a. Miss Tony Bamba.
We'll see y'all in a minute. Peace. All right. Like I said, this is the SMEDC Podcast titled Memories. Me and my wife, we also did a track called Memories. Probably like I said, I'll probably play it or preview it a little bit later on. As we go more into the music side of things. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed that conversation I had with my wife about the whole being a trap queen, or actually, trying to raise your family on good morals and good standards and knowing what's going to work and what's not going to work. Like I said, growing up where I grew up, I don't see too many people who used to do what they did, with 401ks or not, Never seen them, with businesses or whatnot. So all that selling drug shit, man, it's just a mirage. It's just an illusion. Like, you really don't win. How you expect to win if you selling crack to your mama or your auntie or your cousin? How you expect to win if you really selling something to somebody that is messing it up their family and their generation? How you feel that you're selling something to somebody that's going to keep them in that predicament forever? Just so you can have money and fill your pockets and drive in nice cars and big wheels. And, man, like I said, I don't knock you what you do, but you also got to look at, I just hope, some people look at it different, because you also got to think about the families. And that's the biggest thing. So many families are broken up. Mothers and fathers are not together raising the kids. So, that's a big situation with me. Like I said, if you have any comments, shares, questions, you know what you can do. Send them below. Or you can go ahead and send it to the email, arkingholl@gmail.com. Now, I was blessed to be able to get this brother on my show. He goes by the name Swade, man. Me and him had a wonderful conversation about his music, what he got going on, 2016 being his year. His actual mixtape that he had just dropped recently, I Became, which is, hey, top notch, by the way. Make sure you go get that at thentherewasswade.com. And we also talked about some other things. We also got deep because he's a deep brother. So I'm just going to go ahead and let y'all get into that, man. Just open your ears and listen to what the brother got to say. And I'm also going to play a track called Faith by him, too. That track is also on I Became. So y'all just sit back. Like I said, open up your ears. And this brother goes by the name of Swade. And his website is thentherewasswade.com. So, like I said, this is the SMEDC Podcast. Let's get it. And so when you write, do you write for that particular, like, are you writing for I'm saying, all right, when you writing, you just writing, you not writing for no particular song, or you, but you don't write just to be writing.
Nah, but I need to get in a habit. That's another thing I'm conflicted with. Like, I need to start writing like thousands of songs because my freestyle game is weak.
So you want to be able to freestyle?
Yeah, definitely. I want to be able to freestyle, and I want because for some reason the way I rap, people always want to hear the rap. Like when I did an interview with Patty's Dope, he was like, "Damn," and he heard me spit it. He's like, "Damn, freestyle." I was like, "No, I'm not really." He's like, "Damn, give me something off your head." I was like,
yeah.
I was like, I only came with what I practiced.
Right.
He's like, all right, we ended it. So people be impressed by me and then they want me to freestyle, but I'd be like,
so
I am that type of rapper. I guess I do that.
I'm trying to ask you, and I do the same thing. So why you don't keep at least one in the chamber, one hot 16, or keep something in the chamber.
Because it's hard enough keeping the 15 songs of album. Like, to me, like, remembering songs is hard. And I write a lot though, but I need to write more. But what I have my song set, so that's why I felt embarrassed for you when a dude asked me earlier, like, "Yo, spit your verse." I was like, I don't know.
No, man.
No, but it's unprofessional to me. Like, you may think it's cool, but I don't, cause I should have knew my verse. And the crazy thing is, I know my verse, but I need to hear like the first 3 words.
Yeah, to
like,
get you stuck.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know. And I wanted to tell, I was like, if you give me 3 words, I'm gonna know it. But I'm like, I don't know it. Like, I know it in my head. Like, so I'm like, and then the crazy thing, I wrote that song in like 10 minutes. I literally wrote it in like 10 minutes, and then I never went back to it after recording.
Right.
I never went back to it. Like, I was like, cause I don't like clicking my song on SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
So when I post a link, I don't click on my song. So I was like, alright.
Why you don't click on it?
Cause I don't want to get played.
There's only 1 click per play, right?
No,
I mean, it's only.
So I feel like I want all my plays with other people, so I don't click on my song.
Not so you don't want even one play, 1 listen for yourself.
I know I uploaded it. I know it's in my iTunes. I listen to the song, of course, to listen to it, to make sure it sounds right.
Right.
But I didn't go back to it, so I was embarrassed. I was like, fuck. And then I feel like I had a point to prove because I really didn't like that dude. So I was like, I spit something I know.
I don't know, cause for some reason I told you one thing about it. I like to learn and I like to listen, cause you never know, you might miss something when you look at somebody or despise what they say coming out their mouth. How you know or how you not know? Cause I know it's inside you where you be like, no, that's not right, or no, I feel different. But how do you really decipher when you really know that? All right, maybe this dude might be telling me something that, because I caught some gems though. Now I ain't gonna lie, I caught some gems. Like when he said about the person not giving up. That's the difference between, what he said about making it or whatnot or something. He said a person that don't give up, the person that never gives up.
That's right, but people give you subtle hints of who they are though, and that I realized once I realized who he was. But I am receptive to everybody, because just like you, how you said, like, somebody might listen to you. So even if I say, when I say I don't like him, that's just my human emotion. But like, even if I despise someone, I act accordingly. So like, even if you say something that might help me, I'm gonna take it in. But I don't feel like anything he could say thus far. Once he told me that he does music for money, I realized that he's compromised. Like, he's a grown man. He's a seasoned man. So, like, he said that, alright, a man that stands for nothing will fall for anything. I'm a firm believer of some quotes. Right. So, once he said, and these are things I took from him, because he did like 2 things that targeted me. And you may not notice it, but I noticed it. Right. So he said that, the first thing he said was, he tried to discredit my loyalty to you. Right. Because he was like, how you know if that guy gonna be with you for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, even? So I'm like, I noticed that. And then he also said, and that let me know he wasn't a good brother, because I never once decimated who he was to prove my point. Yeah. I just always said, I don't believe in that. I was like, you can believe in that, but I don't. And then he also said, we need 10 more brothers like you and you. But he didn't say me. So I'm like, you mad old, bro. Like, why are you doing this right now? But those 2 things were like the nail in the coffin. But he said one thing that stood out the most when he was like, up until his life, he said that he never thought a man should kiss a man. But then he seen a man give a man $10 million and kiss him on the cheek. And I was like, damn, what would I do? Mm-hmm. So you never know what you're gonna do, but I'm like, if your whole life you thought a man should not kiss a man, no matter how much money is put in front of you, you should stand by that. Right. So you already compromised.
Compromised by the money.
Yeah. So that means that you'll do anything for money. So everything you say up until now is a facade.
See, my thing is, I don't want to say I'm a. See, that's why I say, I probably don't deal with a lot of people. I don't want to say I'm a bad judgment of character of people. Maybe it's just I probably just give, I told you, I'm the type of person, unless you physically harm me, I'm not worried about you. Like, I'm not, like, you can, like, words do have power now. And, like, the vibes and emotions, we in that small area, and, shit, you can feel the waves and shit ain't right. But you know, it's like, you know, you're not gonna put your hands on me, so you know everything, everything cool or whatnot. But like you said, it's crazy that you caught that, and that's what you deal with in this music industry though. And then how he knocked the song too, it's
and that's why when people ask me, that's why I know they took me to the mic, cause like I wasn't not going to not say what I wanted to say. So he's like, so how you feel about his opinion? I don't care. Like in other words, I don't care, cause this is my thing. It's difference between if you're in the music business for listening,
right?
Then listen.
Yeah.
Then listen.
Yeah.
I'm not in the music business of listening. So if you came with your song and be like, is this dope? I'm be like, yeah. Unless you're my friend, I really don't listen to your song.
Right.
So like I'm not like, so when I listen to your song, I will listen. Like I'm like, yeah, I want to see what you're talking about. Right. But like anybody else, if I don't really deal with you, I'm like, don't even let me listen to your song. Cause I'm not really gonna pay attention. And that's what he did. But he's in the music business for listening. So the fact that you didn't listen means that, again, you're corrupt. Like, but if we came with money, you wouldn't even listen to the song then. You just like, it's hot.
Yeah. That's what I can.
It's like, brother, you didn't even listen to the song. I could tell you didn't listen. I could tell. I'm looking right at him while the song playing. Like,
and one time is not enough anyway for you to.
And that's what I said. And I said that.
I
said it on my. I was like, and that's what let me know what your brother is. Because if you would ask me that same question, I was in the same position he was in, and you were like, so what do you think about the song? I'm like, to be honest, you need to listen to the song more than once to have an opinion about it.
What you think about the song?
Man, I think the song is fire. Period. Like,
Cause Swade on there, right?
No, not honestly, no, man. Like, yo, like it's all about the energy, yo. And like I was listening to your verse, I'm like, yo, Tony killed that. Like if you listening, like it's like, yo, this is the shit that you're talking about you want to kick to the community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a man that's telling a woman, don't get in the car with the dude smoking weed. Yeah. Don't roll his weed up, you know what I'm saying? Have pride in yourself. Put yourself on the shelf. What you said? I'm like, yo, right.
But no, how you kicked them about the IG, the whole how you pushed it all together.
Exactly. I was like, bro, you know
something for lost souls, all
that
shit.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, bro, then you're not listening because I made a metaphor on Instagram, so it's bigger than like it's a play on words.
Right.
Like that's this way. I'm being articulate while expressing an opinion, brother. So like, it's more deeper than you listening to one song being like, oh, if the beat knocks once, then that's what you was listening for. Though.
Yeah, he did say that sample. You know, he said.
I'm like, all right.
But he made me think about it too. He made me think about the See, I told you I like to listen to learn because maybe I might be doing something wrong. And he said about sonically the sound. You know, I just thought about it myself. How he said, you know, the samples sound better than you sonically. You know how I don't know. You got like, all right, say like let's take an example for like Kendrick or DMX, or you know Jay-Z to a certain extent. You know they have a, you know DMX yo. You know that's when you hear it in the song. You know that's a different type of tone instead of when we just love. Why you falling for no? See that's not. You know that's not no. It's not no paint to it about. Yeah, it doesn't stand out. So you know when he said that, it hit me like, okay, you know, not that I gotta change my voice, but maybe I gotta do something to paint my voice up just a tad
not
bit.
True.
You don't think so?
I think your style is unique. The way you rap is unique. He wasn't listening, King. Like, yo, Kendrick Lamar dropped a mixtape like the Carter 3. Did you know that?
Who?
Kendrick Lamar. He did a reenactment of the Carter 3.
For real?
Yeah, that's
I
what
never
I'm
knew that.
Cause money talk. No one cares. No one cares when he dropped that. Cause Kendrick Lamar was nobody. If Kendrick Lamar dropped that same mixtape now, everybody gonna listen.
Yeah, it'd be
popular. It's about you just making it. Right. Once you on the platform to listen, people listen. Until then, you just another rapper.
Yeah, man, I hate that being another rapper.
That's
shit.
it. And then you gotta cherish the people that believe in you. That's why I cherish you. Like that's what little stuff like me not coming on last week hurt me. My feelings. No, because even though you could say no, but me, I hurt me because like I like sticking to my work, and I was up all night, and like I was like I'm gonna stay up, I'm just gonna stay up. By 7, and then my girl even because me and my girl like be on the same way, and she was like, because I was like, yo babe, I don't think I'm going. I text Tony, I want you. Like, damn, that's wrong. So you said you're going, you should go. I was like, and that's why I text you back. I was like, yeah, I'm going. And then by the time I knew, I was like, yo, I'm tired. Let me just tell him I'm not going because I'm going to go to sleep. And then she made me feel bad, and I already felt bad. So I was like, so I gotta make it up. No, I like sticking to my word when it comes to certain stuff.
Right. But man, look, between man, it's never like that, man.
But
It's
that's how
never
people get
like
comfortable.
that.
See, even though you said that, that's fine, and I know you mean it, and I
Right.
respect it. But like, that's how people friendships get comfortable. Like, even though, and I'm the guy like that. I like it don't matter. But in my mind, I take mental note of you not doing stuff that you say you do.
You right.
Because even though you're my friend, don't take my friendship for granted.
You right. You right.
And that's how I feel.
Right,
So like,
right,
this
right.
morning I woke up before my alarm clock and got ready, and I was actually like getting tickled in ice when you texted me.
Yeah.
Because I already knew I was gonna be here before time and make sure I'm here. Because like people get comfortable in friendships and be like, you know what? Because he said it's cool, I'm just gonna do that. Because I mean, you don't cherish that person. You gotta do it. Just do what you say you're gonna do.
That's why, I said I wanted to come and support you on your day at New York, man.
And King, that's why it's always see people. If 4 people was in there, 1 person was gonna go. I promise. Like my girlfriend know my relationship with you. Like, and I know energy don't lie, man. Like from when I met you, like, and that's when you was on the ASAP shit. When I met you, for real. But like, even when I met you, I know when people good people, and I was like, damn, cool. Introduce me to another good person. Because like, I really don't open up to people. I don't talk to people. Like, you see how much I'm talking to you. You might think I'm over something, but around people, around I'm like this. I'm not to say.
Right.
You ask me my opinion, I might give you my opinion, but
other than that, you ain't running.
I'm like, people know me in high school. If you ask anybody, I'm like, this I'm talking. No, I think he dated Roxana. That's probably all they got. He dated Roxana, but
He said that's it. That's all.
that nigga ain't talk to nobody. He didn't want to talk. He was on the basketball team. He didn't talk though. Even on the basketball team, I didn't talk to any of them except Raheem.
Right. Here we are today. This is the SMEDC podcast once again, 2016, and this show is called Memories. And I have with me today a very, 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 very special guest with me. Not even a guest, one of the hottest rappers. One of the hottest rappers, man. He go by the name Swade. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? How everybody doing, man? Support the podcast. Support it.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So let the people know, about some of your music and where they can get it from and what's going on with you musically, man.
Great question. You can find my music on thentherewasswade.com. Thentherewasswade.com. No grammatical errors. It's correct. My Instagram is music by Swade. I have a mixtape out called I Became. I dropped it on March 17th last year. I'm still promoting the mixtape, working. So if you want to check that out, please do.
That's what's up. So tell us a little bit about your music. How does it sound? Where you coming from? Where you reside as far as your sound coming from and things of that nature?
Oh man, great question. For real, I really don't have a sound. Like, I'm influenced by music. I think the most person that influences me at this point is Kendrick Lamar. And the crazy thing about him influencing me is that I don't listen to him a lot. People that I actually like musically, I don't listen to them a lot because I don't want them to influence my music.
I feel you on that. So, what's the last project that you got, or what's the project you working on? Giving people, letting people know what's up.
All right. Well, as I said, I Became came out March 17th, but I am working on something now. But I just want to promote I Became, but I don't want to talk about the new project too much because it's gonna. Just know, like, I promise, it's gonna be something special. But you gotta download it.
So let's talk about that I Became, because one thing about that I Became. Now listen here, man. Myself, being an artist, and I'm sure Swade also know, it's hard to listen to other rappers.
Yes.
It's very hard to listen to other rappers. But when you have dealt with a person for a while and listen to their sound and know where they're coming from, you intrigued by their projects. And so, he kept that I Became on tight raps from me, except for I think for like maybe 1 or 2 songs or something like that. And then, I listened to it one time, and the thing about it, you gotta listen to it more than one time. You gotta listen to it on speakers. You gotta listen to it on some cheap headphones. Then you gotta listen to it on some Beats headphones. And so I finally, after listening to it, maybe I can say I done listened to that mixtape several times, 5 and up. Just letting it run straight from the first track, because let's get into that first track, man. Like, you set the tone with the whole mixtape right there. I'm not, we're not boosting it up, trying to get people to, I'm serious. From that very first track, it's, he sets the tone and let people know, where he coming from, man. Give us a little situation of how you came about that first track or whatnot. Cause I definitely was feeling that first one, that intro.
Yo, a lot of people don't like Faith. Faith, unique, man, because, you know, man, I don't want to sound like a woman, but women inspire me a lot. They tell a lot of my story. And my first love ever, like probably the organic love ever, was April. I talk about a lot in my music, and it didn't work out. And not because it wasn't gonna work out, like it's supposed to work out, but she inspired like that whole song. And because I grew up and I became an adult and I realized that I wasn't right for her, so I broke up with her, and then that's how Faith came. But of course it had other parts to it, but that was the core. That's what started Faith.
That's what's up. So out of the whole I Became, what's your favorite track on there?
I don't have a favorite. Like honestly, like I just like when I make music, I literally don't make singles.
Right.
I like if you listen to my music and I do have a song out promoting the mixtape, it's really a body of work. Like you really have to listen to the whole mixtape to understand the process, because every song is an emotion to me.
Right. Which song are you getting the best love from, the most love from, or whatnot?
Man, of course, Fashion Killer, Loyal, and Fashion Killer, Loyal, and another song.
I like
those songs.
What's my joke? She been ready. Yeah, I like that joke. I like that joke, man.
Yeah, that one as well. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, that I became, like, I sit there and you know, I listen to how you create music, and you know, I've been dealing with you for a while, how you go and find other artists and, you know, singers and other musicians and whatnot. And, you know, and you definitely know how to, you know, put tracks together. That's one thing I can tell you. Like I said, that whole I Became is definitely, you know, like I said, if I had my iPod somewhere around here, you know, I could go quick to it. And most time, you know, I put something on my iPod one day and then I delete it. But that I Became is on there, and it's going to stay on there. So we're, you know, definitely waiting for. I know I am, and I'm sure you getting a lot of love and waiting for a lot of other people asking too about that next project. And you just said that you're not gonna give us, you know, a little insight on it. But what can you share? What can you share about this new project? That, because I'm definitely waiting on it.
Well, you'll see growth. Like that's like I'm keen on that. Like if I ever listen to an artist and they don't grow, then I'll stop listening to the artist.
Right.
It's like as a man, you're supposed to grow. If you're still rapping about the same stuff that you rapped about in '92,
Right.
then you're not a rapper.
Right.
You're not. Well, you are a rapper. You're not an artist though.
Right.
You know, it's a difference between a hip hop artist and a rapper. To me, rappers just rap to make money.
Right.
Hip hop artists is true to it. You know, Tupac said that, and I really believe that.
Do you feel like you're a poet?
I started off doing poetry actually.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I actually started off doing poetry. I didn't take rap serious until I was 20, 19, to be honest. I didn't care about rap.
So what's going on? What you got in store for this year? Shows, new music, like I said, the mixtape. What you got in store this year?
Well, this is the year of focus.
Right.
Like my boy Tony said on his last podcast, it's time to boss up, right?
Yeah, 2016.
2016 boss up. So actually, I'm focused on doing more shows.
Right.
More shows and getting out there, because it's the difference between being a good artist and a good artist with connections.
Right.
That makes a difference.
It's all about those connections.
All about those connections.
So with you doing music, with your significant other, because you know, how have your relationships, or if you know you've been in one, or you've been in many, with some people that the other person didn't understand, or maybe you was working too hard with the I Became and lost sight of the relationship. So if you can, you know, not to get a little bit too into it, you ain't got to spare names and stuff, but you know, down through the years with you being a musician and you been in relationships, how has that other significant person been there with you? Was they there to help you? Was they there to hinder you? Did they not understand you as an artist and that process and the grind? Or, you know, like I said, was they there for you, you know, helping you schedule your dates and help at the studio with you and putting in that time and that work with you?
Well, that's a complex question, and it is a great question too. One, I'm very secretive about my music, and I'm insecure about my music.
Right.
So like, I really don't let people in, honestly. So like, I tell people I rap, but I don't let you into my rap. Like, I don't even rap in front of my girlfriend I have now. But yes, in my past relationship, I dated a girl who was more so like, she didn't like that I rap at all, and actually that hindered how I became. Because I was dating her while I was writing that. And I always write my mixtapes like a year or two before I bring them out.
Wow.
And it hindered it, man, because the whole process was stressful. Because she really did not like that I rap. And she was one of those girls that, she works at a Fortune 500 company.
What did she want you to do all day?
She wanted me to be a police officer.
I
and
know,
she wanted me to go back to school.
Like artists, either we're working or we're trying to be in our creative space, because as artists we have to be in a creative space in order to make music constantly and make good music. So I know
I actually write better when I'm depressed.
Get out of here.
Yeah, when I'm stressed out, I write a lot better, because it's like I like when music flows out of me. Like, I'm giving a lot of secrets right now, but like when I'm comfortable, I don't like writing music, because that, like, when I'm comfortable, I might make good music.
Right.
When I'm under pressure and scrutiny, I might make great music.
So from a situation, can you think of one song where I became that came from being under scrutiny? The Curse.
Yeah, The Curse. That's why I called it that. Cause
wow.
Yeah, The Curse. It was a lot of emotion there, and I wrote that because of her. The song's about her. I was dating her during it.
Wow. So about the album cover, how I see you one side day to a certain extent, and one side night to a certain extent, tears, the whole color scheme. Give me a little info on your choice of that cover art.
Well, shout out to Dame Art Drugs. He's on Instagram. You can follow him if you want him to make you a cover. You can definitely follow Dame Art Drugs. He actually came up with the concept. I had a vision. Usually, and I'm really tedious. It's probably hard working with me, but I usually have stuff outlined already.
Right.
Usually, like, everything. So there's a lot of stuff that people don't know about me. Like, when it comes to singers being on my song, I write that. Except for Cool 'Em Off Black. He wrote that. I want to make that clear. But like, I wrote the hook and everything. But like, for the most part, I have everything outlined. I know how I want stuff, everything. But he actually drew it. And I think his first draft I didn't like, but then he drew this, and I was like, okay, keep going with it. And it was all him. He creative. He's pretty dope. Again, that's Dame Art Drugs. Follow him. He's cool.
Are you gonna go back with him for this new project?
I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in that?
Nah, I gotta experience something new. And like I said, music is about growth. So I need somebody else to expand my horizon. Even though he's dope, and he actually liked the music. When somebody does stuff for me, I send music to them.
Right.
And he actually listened to the music while drawing it.
Yeah.
And that's what he came up with. And I think that's a part of the process.
So with this new, I don't know what to call it, mixtape album you got coming, do you have an idea for your cover art?
Yeah, I do, actually. This time, I'm actually going to have creative direction for this. I already know what the cover art is going to be. Like, I'm a picture person. So, like, whenever I think of something, I see it in picture.
Right.
So even, like, my music videos, I come up with those concepts. Because I already know what I want when I write a song. It's just, that's what takes me so long. Like, I've been writing this mixtape for 2 years.
Right.
And, that's how I write it. I started writing this mixtape while writing I Became.
Wow. So I don't know. You didn't give us no name yet for this new mixtape or album,
right.
yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
If you don't, we can come back another day and you can drop that.
That's on another day.
That's on another day.
Yeah, because I don't want to mess up the creative process, which is cool as hell. And Tony gonna be on the mixtape.
Man, don't put me in those positions, man. I don't want that pressure. I don't like that pressure. You see what I'm working on, man. But let's see where else we can take this. Matter of fact, give them your information again. You know, just in case they just hopped into the pod. You know.
All right. Again, man, I have a website, thentherewasswade.com. You can find me and Tony's song "Queen" on there as well if you click on the music link. Again, that's thentherewasswade.com, all grammatically correct. And at Music by Swade. The Swade is untraditional though. It's SWADE. You might be used to SUEDE, but it's SWADE. Swade. Music by.
Word. So with being, do you call yourself a local artist?
No.
You don't call yourself a local artist?
No. I'm an emotional person. I'm gonna be honest. So I used to consider myself that.
Right.
But no, I'm not a local man. Because I don't do stuff that the local rappers do, and plus I'm not into the stuff that the local rappers are into.
That's what's up. That's a good way to look at it. Do you listen to any of the surrounding rappers? I'm not gonna say local rappers. I'm gonna say surrounding
I
rappers.
listen to everybody.
If they put it on there, you clicking it.
Yep.
Yeah. That's how it is. That's how I get down to. That's
I listen to everybody. So don't think I don't listen to you. I do. I do. And if you ever hear I say you suck, I mean it. Because I listen to you. I listen to everybody. I promise. If you drop a mixtape and I listen to it.
So, but I know one thing about you. You're very particular in who you deal with, who you share music, who you like music, man. Yeah. So it's hard to get a like out of you, huh? Or get a listen, even a listen.
It's actually not hard to get a like. I mean, like, if I see you trying, I'll like it. Even if I don't like it, I'll like it. But yeah, that's how I am, man. I see you trying, I like it. But you know your music sucks.
How do you know when your music sucks or not?
If it sounds the same since high school.
Since high school.
People know who they are. Like if it was sound the same since high school, and I'm not trying to diminish anyone's aspirations.
Right.
I'm not in that business. I want everybody to prosper. But all I'm saying is, let's put it like this, man.
Right.
This how I knew the people around here see me as a threat. When I first started rapping, everyone just tried to say I sounded like Drake. But mind you, at the time, I didn't listen to Drake at all. I listened to Kanye West all the time.
And this was probably what? This was what? 2009?
10? Right. So everybody's like, oh man.
Jerk was probably just coming out, so it wouldn't been that much listening.
Listen, man, let me tell you, people used to anonymously comment under my YouTube stuff. And I used to go back and forth with them. They're like, man, you sound like Drake. You a fucking weak ass Drake. But they never have a subscriber. I literally will create a YouTube account just to comment.
Just to comment, yeah.
And I think I have an idea who the people were, but it's just funny to me that all of them sound like Future. All of them sound like, and to this day they sound like. First they sounded like Soulja Boy, now they sound like Future. It's just funny. It's funny to me that, and I still never approach anybody, but I just be like.
That's lame.
They see me as a threat so much, it's crazy.
So if you do you see yourself as a threat?
No, man, I'm the most humble guy ever. Nah, man.
But you'll take heads off if you have to, right?
Nah, man.
You nice though, right?
Like I said, man, I said this off the record with you. I think beefing is a hate and person sport to me.
I'm saying not beefing, but I'm saying you got bars, right?
I guess, yeah.
He said, no, he being humble as I don't know what.
I live by some rules. I feel like people should crown you.
Right. You gotta wait for the people to do it.
Yeah, I never be like, yo, man, I'm the nicest around the world. Once people start saying it, then I guess I could take it.
But you have some sort of pride with you though.
Oh,
with your flows. When you that's it. Yeah, they gonna like that. Yeah, I'm sure you that's right.
About my music, honestly.
I feel you. Who you telling, man? who you telling? It's hard. So when you was talking about progressing in your music, how you feel like you have progressed in your music, and how can the next artist, if they listening to this podcast, what can they do to progress in their music? Is it something that, hey, you just go to the computer and say, hey, I'm gonna do this beat and I'm gonna try to sound different, or how, give a little insight on that situation?
Well, see, I respect everybody's process because everybody's process is different than mine. But what I do, I like to live,
right,
and then I can write,
right.
So one song might take somebody an hour, and they take pride in it. And that's pretty cool. Like, but a song might take me a month.
Right.
Only
Wow.
because like I like to live. I like to experience my music. So like when I say when you hear my music, it's real. I've done all those things with my music.
Right.
It's like no fabrication. Like everything that's in my music, I've done it.
Yeah, I spoke on that in that hustle track. I said, what did I say? I said,
Wait, that's how you became? Hold on, no, that's noted. Sorry.
yeah, no, that's was
That's my favorite track.
appreciate that.
Throw it out.
I said, cause I put that on Facebook. Yeah, they don't live what they be saying in the booth, man. It's at a all time low. What made you choose to, even, some cats, they completely flat out lie. Then some cats exaggerate. And then you have the ones that's true and they stand up to that character and they have morals and they rap what they say and they live what they say in the booth. What made you wanna stick to the really be real and say what you live in your raps and not lie and, oh, you big money this and big money that and stuff like that and blah blah blah.
We live in a world that glorifies fabrication.
Yeah.
People will start imagining things, and and on some degree, people are compulsive liars.
Yeah.
They start living their life, and then they start being true to it. Like I'm all for people growing up.
Right.
But, like I said, man, that's the only thing that scares me with rapping. If you want to speak candidly and honestly, like I think about another black brother, and that makes it worse. And I put black in front of it, even though I don't see color, but I still have to succumb to society. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I see another black brother that would take my life for a change, not because that's what he wanted to do, but he lost himself in something that everybody does.
Mm-hmm. And then the music wise, a music will change your mindset.
Yeah.
You hear one song where a song say, fuck them up, knock them upside the head.
Right.
Most of the time that'll change your mind. Just like the same way you have a song where it said, them R&B slow love songs make you want to get in the mood.
Mm-hmm.
So, words have power. So it's good that, out of all the music I heard, coming from Swade, especially on the I Became, it's always a reflective, it's always a positive, an educational, and an inspiration sound. It's not he's destroying anybody or anything. If anything, he trying to knock the devil. Other than that, he glorifying, he giving thanks, and he making good music and putting those good positive vibes out. Like I said, I Became, y'all definitely need to go on www.thentherewasswade.com and check out that I Became. Because if you don't, you're going to miss out, man. That whole mixtape is a gem in itself, man. It's hard to find the artists out these days, that you can fully, what's the word I'm looking for? Appreciate, on a actual basis where you can sit across from them. Yeah. That's actually good. You listen to the music on the radio, you have artists that, man, you just wish you could, probably be in the same room and just, sit there and kick it with them for a minute to see what's on their mind, see how they creative process. But actually, I'm being, in my position and being able to know you and dealt with you and meet you and listen to your music and deal with you over the years and coming up. And like I said, it's it's a great feeling and I'm honored to on everything, I'm honored to, like I said, even like they say, even if you never do it, you was the greatest though, and that you was good, that you was Swade, that you was out here putting those good vibes in it, cause like you already know your future and you good. But I'm saying, even if you was, I don't even like saying, but even if you wasn't, but that you left a good mark. You wasn't, degrading or talking about this and talking about that.
I am human though.
And changing souls. Yeah, you right.
Like, I have those like I said, man, I'm not a womanizer, but I have a lot of experience with women. Like,
right.
Like currently I don't, of course, I have a girlfriend. But I do talk about it, and I'm human. I might call a girl B.
Right.
Like, so I don't want people to think like it's like, oh man, it's a squeaky clean guy. Nah, man, I just rap what I live. You know what I'm saying? I really do. So like, if I went to the club and back to shorty, which I said in lawyer, you know what I'm saying? These things happen.
That's
things
life.
happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, like I succumb, man, to my flesh sometimes. But it's about, like he said, reflecting on it, not just saying, I'm gonna make a song about ass because I bagged the shorty. No, it's about saying that's what happened. It's just, man, like, he really just inspired me by even saying this. But man, this podcast is just a beautiful thing because a lot of people don't even understand like where I came from, and for him to say he listened to my mixtape 5 times, it's just about to make me cry because like people really don't understand like the time I put into my music. Like, although I may not see myself as a local rapper, a lot of people see me as a local rapper, of course, and but they don't understand like the effort that I put behind this music. Like, the effort is just crazy, man. Like, I'm not like the typical rapper who just hear a beat and say, "Oh, I'm a rap." Like, literally, man, this shit like drain me some days. Like, I'll write like half a song and be done. Like literally fatigued. Cause I put so much energy into that song just for people not to listen sometimes, and that shit sucks. But when you make it, I understand. Nah.
So, how you feel about that fake love? As far as say you do, I don't want to. I hate saying say you do. When let's go ahead. When you do, let's use words like that. Yeah, empowering words. When you do make it, and those people, hey, I knew Swade. You remember this? And you remember I like Faith, and you remember that song, The Curse. And so how you gonna feel when that fake love come back, man?
Well, I got a glimpse of it last year actually. I was on World Star and all these random people hit me up. Even, I'm not gonna say the first name, but even one of my friends hit me up who don't really like be going hard for the music like I think he should.
He said, "What are our friends?"
He hit me up and was like, "You know you're on World Star?" Like, I didn't know I was on World Star.
Get out of here!
I swear. He hit me up like in the morning. Because I said I'm up all the time. Like, I literally run in 3 hours. That's not healthy, guys.
No,
Just
it's
everybody
not.
know. You need to sleep. But like I really don't be sleeping a lot, and it's probably because I hate where I'm at in life. Not hate because I'm blessed, but hate because I think I deserve more.
Yeah, I feel you.
That's that. But shout out to I just want to say shout out to Sharda. I want to say that's how you pronounce her name. You know it, right?
Sade, yeah.
Yeah, Sade.
Yeah,
and she really loves my music. No lie. Like, this girl hits me up all the time. She's like, "Yo, you're gonna make it." Like, she really put me with J. Cole and Kendrick.
That's
like,
Bird. That's Bird.
Yeah,
I call her Bird.
Yeah, I call her Bird too. That's what I know. But yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to, if she listens to the podcast, I'm gonna make sure she listens to it.
Yeah, make sure she do that so I get some more listens.
She loves my music organically. Like, she actually hit me up and was like, "Yo, I just want to say you're dope. That's it." Like,
that's what's up. That's
and
that
I was
love
like,
you
"What?"
need, man.
I was like, "What?" She was like, "Yo, you can really rap." Like, she said, "You can rap. You can rap. You gotta keep going." My homeboy Darius too. He was actually the first person I met outside of Coop when I came down here, and he's a cop now, and he was like, and I actually, like I said, with my girlfriend, she wanted me to be a cop, and I was thinking about doing it. I applied and everything, and he was like, "Don't do it." He's like, "You are talented, son." He was like, "You can rap. I think you should pursue rapping." He said, "I'm a cop. I'm telling you, man. Like, I don't think you should do it." He was a recommendation, everything. He was like, "I don't think you should do it. I think you should rap." And people like that, man, and people like you, of course. I don't gotta acknowledge you because you already know. But it's people like that's pivotal in my life that be like, rap. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I actually quit rap for like 6 months after I came out, and I really didn't want to do it. And some people thought I was lying.
I remember those pep talks.
Yeah, but nobody know how serious I was about it. And people were really hitting me up like, "What? No, you can't do that, man. You're talented."
Yeah.
And it's like, for real, you need to look at interviews and all that. So, I looked at interviews and like Jay-Z and everybody, and it was like, nobody believe in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I got on though, look at Jay-Z, he's the greatest. And in people eyes, not in my eyes, but people eyes, he's the greatest. And I just need that. I just need to keep pursuing.
Yeah. Everybody sent, man, love, listens, likes, shares, and comments. Yeah, people don't understand, but it's hard because I was sitting the other day. I think I was at work or something. Just when your mind be running a million power, and I had thought to myself, I'm sure you think about it sometimes. Well, I know myself. I said I need more friends. I need new friends. I said all my friends are rappers. I said all my friends are rappers, so it's hard to really connect with other people, when you hoping that you have friends that they listen to your music, but most of your friends are rappers, so it's really hard to get another rapper to listen to.
Yeah, I don't think that's a problem.
He said you don't think that's a problem.
I think it's envy the problem.
You think it's envy?
Yeah, and I think jealousy is a problem. It's the disconnect where loyalty is no more.
Right.
I don't think loyalty is a generation thing. I think loyalty is just embedded in you. Like, I think people need to want people to succeed as much as them. Like, you shouldn't like my music because I like your music. And then the crazy thing about it, I experimented with that. Like, I used to not add people and I just share their music.
Right.
I just shared. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't know I was sharing it. You know what I'm saying? So when I post my music, they never shared mine. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's just hilarious to me. Because why should I have to share your music for you to share me and then put your name in it? Like, if it's love, just do it.
Right.
You don't gotta do it for accolades. Just do it. Like you never tell me to post your stuff. Never. I just do it.
Right.
One, because I believe in you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I believe in you. And then two, I want you to win more than I want to win. Now, of course, I want to win. You know what I'm saying? I'm human. Well, I want to win. Too.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like, why not see your boy up there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you gotta be, man.
That's what it's need. That's what the game be missing, and that's what the game needs, man. But it's why you think it's so competitive? I know music is competitive to a certain extent, and but like you said, it's hard for surrounding rappers to I don't want to say I don't know, get together and make things happen and come together. Like I said, we Virginia to a certain extent don't have a voice. We don't, and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, them boys from Virginia, they doing their thing. And or I don't know if you can consider, because I see you got the New York Yankee hat on. I don't know if you consider yourself still New York or you consider yourself a Virginia. So
yeah, that's crazy. That's a blurry line. You know what's crazy?
What's up?
Man, I interview myself, like I was telling you before we got on. I fake interview myself all the time, and that's gonna be a tricky situation because I moved down here when I was 17.
Right.
I've been at her since.
Right.
And of course, I'm from Brooklyn.
Right.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York. But birth. I actually was raised there. Unlike most people. I'm actually from New York, but I love Virginia, man. To be honest, I met like lifetime friends here.
That's what's
And
up.
of course, I have my friends from New York. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I don't know, man. Of course, everybody gonna say, man, you from Brooklyn. 'Cause that's what they call me. I'm like, man, you from Brooklyn. Don't trip. You gotta sit down, man. You know where you from. And but I can't disconnect from VA. But back to what you were saying about the rappers and not supporting each other is because Lauryn Hill said this on the song, and she was like, everybody want to be the chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian no more. And people don't understand the building blocks to success. Sometimes you need Indians. And if you look at any great camp, there's a lot of Indians who believe in the chief. And that's, you know what I'm saying? Like Kendrick Lamar, look at TDE, all these rappers, they all want to rap, but they seen Kendrick Lamar was a chief. Not to say that, you know what I'm saying? Because Schoolboy Q nice.
Yeah.
Absol is deadly on the mic.
They don't want to watch the
Deadly on the
and
mic.
J Rock.
J Rock
nice
too.
too.
Oh yeah, J Rock nice too. But it's like Kendrick got it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you gotta put your pride aside and be
He
like,
in the spotlight.
KD got it right now.
Right.
I'm gonna let KD cook, but I know the type of person KD is.
He'll let you shine too.
He gonna let me
you
rock.
Yeah.
He not gonna get the spot and be like, nah, brother. And he gonna make you get your own lane.
Right.
You ain't even gotta rap like him. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the love come in. When it's mutual, it's happening so beautifully.
Yeah. You right. It's easy. Everything be coming together.
Smooth, man. When people know, like, they're like, yo, let it go. And that's why Tony, you know what I'm saying? I know it's gonna happen. I know we're gonna become one. We're gonna become a group. But it's hard for me to be a group. Because
we gonna live life, man.
yeah, like it's hard.
We gonna live life,
I
man.
believe in Tony.
We gonna live life.
But the group thing, I think it's just gonna happen once I get on. And of course,
We
or
gonna
Tony
live
get on
life.
before me, and we just make lanes.
That's your thing, man. That's your thing. I'm living life. But I ain't gonna take up too much of your time because I know you're a busy man. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. But hopefully we get trying to keep people entertained and keep them listening. And, that's enough.
Yeah,
But man, I was thinking last night. I saw a picture with the State of Union Obama, you know, and I saw Jay-Z, you know, shaking. I don't know if he was at the State of the Union, but I just saw him shaking President Obama's hand. You know, I'm sure he's been invited to the White House.
Of course, yeah, of course.
My thing is, and don't get me wrong, like I'm not trying to destroy him or put him down or you know none of that stuff. It just I want to see your point of view and you know, but how can a man sit there and you know his past? We all know Jay-Z past from his raps now, from his raps. You know how he rapped about doing this and slanging that, doing that. Becoming one, if not, I don't want to say a powerful person, but you know he's Jay-Z. Oh, okay. How can he be at the White House, being you know rapping about what he rapped about, and you know now he's at the White House?
Then you got to keep in account that politicians is just organized crime.
Right.
You know, so it's like I mean, you know, he was in a tough situation. Like he lived a couple blocks away from me. I'm from Marcy and Gates. He's from Marcy Projects. So he already know about North Street Ave and all that. He said in one of his songs. So that's where I'm from. So I've lived it. I've been in poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like capitalism hasn't helped anybody except rich people. You know what I'm saying? Once you're wealthy, that's what you are. That's your label. So because Jay-Z is wealthy, he can be in the president's house. He has influence on people. Everything is a gimmick to me. Like I don't want to, you know, a lot of people love Obama, so I don't want to like say anything bad, but I want to say that everything is propaganda. You know, everything is for imagery. You know, let's be honest. What can Jay-Z and Barack Obama really talk about? Articulately, morally, they might have some standpoints, but honestly.
Yeah, you right. You make sense. Right? If you think about it.
What did he really? Barack Obama, like
the president,
I seen him do an interview with Charles Barkley, and this is the problem when power becomes more than humanity. He called KD a shooting guard, and you can look this up.
He called KD a shooting guard.
Like he really, everything is for imagery, and Charles Barkley didn't correct him.
Charles Barkley ain't correct him just because he's the president.
Right. Huh? I'd have been like, well, KD's a small forward. He's not a shooting guard.
You but sure? You might end up missing later on that day.
Well, that's another conversation another day. But all I'm saying is that you know, history, man. Like you know, capitalism was put in place in the '80s by the president, and who has to help? And a lot of people gonna attest that and say, well, you know, small businesses they came up, but really with Walmart, what are small businesses? And then, man, it's much deeper than life, man. It's, like I said, man, Jay-Z and Barack Obama have nothing in common, and I can say that confidently, without being there. I can say that confidently. It's just imagery, man. It's just like if right now nobody's gonna be associated with me because I'm nothing compared to society standards. But if I blow up today or tomorrow, everybody going to take my handshake.
Yeah, remember, you know? Swade. Remember, man. Hey, remember I did this podcast, Swade.
Now you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there. You're gonna be there. So it's not a worry.
No, I feel you on that. You know that's crazy because when I had thought about that, you know, nothing came to me. Nothing came. I was just like, wow, that question is crazy. I said, I'm gonna ask somebody that question, and here it is. And you know, and I guess that's you know, I don't want to say I guess, but that's the answer. That's how I look at things. You know, like I said, I'm not a pusher. I used to be a pusher, and I'm not a forcer or none. Most of the time I just let things come now, especially now, man, with you know the way life has turned out. You know, I just let things come. That's the way I felt like. You know, I don't want to say I got most of my things, but understanding life. For real. You know, you can learn some things pushing it and forcing it, and you know, you learn real quick, and most of the time you learn hard. Yeah. But if you know, I don't want to say slow play it. You know, you might be able to really fine tune some things, and you know, see it a little different from another angle or whatnot.
That is true.
So, out of you know, being under your music career, what have you learned? Not musically, but you know, internally for your soul. You know, for your soul. What have you learned?
Understanding of man. So you see how I just said that Jay-Z comment? I want to make it clear that it's okay if you think it's cool that Barack Obama and Jay-Z know they may have things in common. Who am I? What do I know? But I understand both sides though. That's just my side. So I make it a everyday thing, a repetitive thing to understand man.
Right.
So if you say, man, that guy's a drug dealer, well, that's just isolating the information. You said one thing about a whole man, so you don't know his circumstances.
Right.
You don't know how he was raised. You don't know what influenced him to make him a drug dealer. So before you understand man, you can't crucify man. So I just want to make that clear that I crucify nobody. Right now I'm just sharing my thoughts and my perspective. But understanding is the catalyst to us truly evolving, becoming a civilized universe, Earth. We only have one planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Scientists say there's other planets, say. But I feel like the truth is, and this is, again, my opinion, is what you can feel. You know what I'm saying? I've never been to Mars, so I don't know if Mars exists.
Yeah.
These are just pictures and imagery. Like, I don't know if it exists. They say that a man went to the moon. So how come nobody ever went to the moon again? You just have to, just common sense sometimes, not common these days.
Right. I try to keep this section about music because this section about music, but I know you're a deep brother, so I definitely wanted people to to catch the deeper side, because it's like you said, there's a seen world and then there's an unseen world. There's some real brothers and there's some fake brothers that those are things that we deal with. But where do you see yourself musically in 3 to 5 years?
Well, in 3 years I wouldn't be rapping, to be honest. Rapping is just a platform for other things I want to do.
Wow.
In 6 months I'm going to be famous.
You heard that?
But I'm gonna be doing shows. I'm gonna be doing those summer festivals. I can promise you that. But in 3 years I'm going to be doing something else. I want to get into acting, but the more I look into acting, I don't think I'm gonna do it. It will be nice, but I refuse to compromise who I am.
Right.
But
you talking about type of roles that maybe somebody might want for you?
Well, yeah, I can always deny roles. That's not the problem. It's the lifestyle. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, just isolated information always seems glamorous. So you say acting, I saw these stars, but it's so much homosexuality with acting. On casting tables, people have sex just for scenes, men and men, females and females. I'm just not a part of that.
Right.
I stand by the things that I say, and I'm willing to die by the things that I say.
On that one. So with you spreading the positivity in your music or something, you would never think of creating your own label if you got to a certain situation? You wouldn't want to continue to bring forth those good words so people can hear?
I'll let you do something like that, because I think you're a lot better than me. I'm not really a fan of music. So
Right.
That's what a lot of people don't know. I don't like rap. I don't really listen to rap. If you get on my iPod, you're like, yo, you have mad R&B. Well, that's what I listen to.
Right.
I don't really listen to rap. I don't like rap. So, unfortunately, not unfortunately, thank God that he gave me this passion. That's why, when I say this is my passion, people have to believe me. Not have to, but I'm not a fan of rap. This is what God showed me I can do.
Right.
And then I'm going to utilize what God showed me. I've been squandering his gift for far too long, but now I'm focused. But I don't really like rap enough to have a record label and then deal with other personalities. I'm not really friendly. Even my friends now, Doobie's one of my closest friends.
Right.
Ask him how many times I hit him up. I'm really terrible at hitting people up. And Doobie understands our relationship. He one of the people that get me, so he'd be like,
it is what it is.
that's Sterling. Sterling will say he coming, probably don't come. But or you know what I'm saying? But if anything important, if you hit me up, I'll be there. But for real, I'm I just like being alone a lot. So I don't think I can handle it regularly. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I'm just saying.
Is there anything that you feel like your music may be missing? And what is the spotlight of your music? Your particular sound, your particular music. Do you feel like?
I like great questions.
Do you feel like? Yeah, I'm definitely trying to get you really ready for the MTV and the BT and so like I said, is there anything you feel like your music missing, or you know what? And then what's the spotlight of you and your music?
Just fans. I feel like creatively, my music is where it's at.
Yeah,
Like if you listen to my mixtapes, they sound like albums. Like they're not
big time.
They're not traditional mixtapes. They're not like just thrown together tracks. Like it's a transition.
Yeah.
By the end of the mixtape, you like, wow, I'm settling down. I put you in a settling mood.
Yeah.
But at the end, nah, man. I feel like it's just missing fans. I take music very seriously, very seriously. But this is my process. Probably a lot of people don't like the way I write music. Though. I take forever.
Take forever.
Yeah.
Right. So let the people know again where they can find you and your music.
ThenThereWasSwade.com. Again, that's ThenThereWasSwade.com. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter at MusicBySwade. You know, if you're a fan of the music, let me know. Because I don't follow back on Twitter. For the simple fact that I don't like people's opinions a lot. Like the people that I do follow, unfortunately, I follow them forever, so I just keep it there. But I seldomly read their tweets because I don't like people's opinions. But if you hit me up and say, yo man, I like your music, I'll follow you because definitely want to interact with people that believe in what I'm doing and like what I'm doing. It's pretty cool. And if you're doing something, I'll believe in you. Like I could randomly meet you, and if I know you're doing something, I'll definitely uplift you or support you however I can. If it's an event in VA, I can come to it, or I just show love because it's important.
That's what's up. So you don't have no date for this new album or mixtape that's coming out?
I do. It's June 6th. I can tell you that.
June 6th?
Yeah, June 6th.
That's coming around the corner.
Yeah.
That's locked in?
Yeah, it is because last year I did my mixtape March 17th because my person I grew up with, Donna, she passed away.
Wow, sorry.
And yeah, man, it's life. And my cousin, he passed away in April. That hurt a lot though, because like my cousin was like my brother, and he passed away. It's been too long now. Like it's so sad that people become memories and years go by. So yeah, but Peanut, I'm gonna drop my mixtape June 6th for him.
That's what's up.
No matter what the day is, it can fall on Sunday.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you're gonna drop it on your site, right?
Yeah, it's gonna come on my SoundCloud. It's gonna be on SoundCloud, but you can go through my site to listen to it. Like I have SoundCloud apps on there, so you can listen to the mixtape. I just want to know, I'm doing it a lot different this year. You know, I'm gonna have a lot of physical copies. You know, so if you want to get the physical copy, you can. And I'm also gonna have something special for real fans that really like the music. Really, really special. I'm working on something really special for people that truly like the music. So it's gonna be a cool experience.
We gotta hit them cities, man, with your physical copies, man. Yeah. Like you are, I told you, man. You know, we definitely gotta get in the car one weekend and just shoot up or shoot down.
I'm hitting cities,
and hit every city and pass out them copies.
I promise you, I am. I'm like I said, I gotta show the universe I want it.
Right.
Like it's that simple. And you know, of course, you gotta put the work ethic behind it. But yeah, it's going hard.
Yeah, man. I told you, I definitely wish I still had that drive that you got,
do, man. you just waiting on results. I was like you, man. I'm telling you, like, that's why I quit rapping, man. That's why I quit rapping. And then,
gotta keep the hustle, huh? Gotta keep up the hustle.
Yo, that song is fire too. Yo, that song is fire too.
It's about you, man. It's about you.
Honest,
I
man.
just said.
I'm just saying.
It's
that
all
song is
about
fire.
You. Appreciate
that.
Fire, appreciate that. Yeah. Let me see what else. I know you are a very busy man.
Nah, I'm not.
So when the next single, let's give me the single or something.
Well, I have a song that I recorded. You were there that night, you know. Like
I remember that. I remember that one.
Your expressions, because like even though it takes forever to write songs, I like when people have expressions like they're like, damn, that's what he was holding. But yeah, man, like actually, I'm not even leading with that song. Though.
You're not gonna lead with that one?
No.
That song was monumental, man.
Yo, I'm getting a great reception from it too. Like everyone that heard it, they were like, yo, this is a single? I was like, nah, it's not.
Wow.
It's not a single. It's actually not. I have this single though.
You got the single ready?
The single actually been wrote before every song.
Wow.
Yeah, I just what's that, man?
What's the lane? What's the lane on that single? Or you ain't gonna?
Well, I can definitely give you some perspective about it. It's called called Smile. And it's just a song about self-love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somewhere in life we forget about loving ourselves. Because we get wrapped up in what other people want. Even myself. Like I said, I'm human. You know, so like simple things like somewhere, this I think I said this in one of your songs that we didn't bring out, that's fire. But I stood in line for Jordans, right? And I bought these Jordans. I didn't even wear them. And I realized, like, I don't even buy stuff for me anymore. I realized that, like, I literally buy it so other people can look at it.
So other people can look.
Yeah. So I realized somewhere, like, I'm losing myself.
Wow.
I'm losing myself in life. I'm forgetting how to smile.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That single will be nice.
But the concept sounds nice, right? So,
I'm sure SMEDC gonna get
oh yeah, exclusive.
MP3 of that
Of
exclusive. Come by, drop it off, and you know, hopefully we get to play it first or something like that.
We gonna be, like I said, we're going to the studio soon. So yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Get recorded.
So here it is, man. This is Swade. Like I said, make sure y'all go check that out on SoundCloud, or make sure you go check on his own personal website, www.thentherewasswade.com. And they also can find you at where?
On Instagram and Twitter at Music by Swade. At Music by Swade. Swade is SWADE.
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. This podcast is blessed to have this man, because we already know what his future is looking like.
Our future, our team. Our future.
We already know what his future looking like. This is about him. So and we know what his brother headed at, and it's all about good, positive vibes, man. It's nothing but to the top for anybody, whoever It's all about good, being positive, and being a good person, and putting forth that effort and that faith and that work. So this is one of the brothers that's definitely doing this, and I appreciate him to have him on the podcast in order to bring awareness to some of his things, and also talk about some of the things that we had spoke on. Like I said, this brother right here goes by the name of Swade. And you can catch his latest mixtape, I Became, on www.thentherewasswade.com. And you can also hit him up at all his social sites or whatnot. But Swade, anything you have to say before we, leave? Anything you want to?
Pursue your passion, man. Just pursue your passion. Like, if you want to quit your job and pursue something, do it. Because we only have one life. So if you're in college and you hate college, or if you're in college and you love college, do college. If you love it, do it. If you don't like it, quit. Not because you're giving up. Bet on yourself. If you believe in yourself, do it. I'm saying if people around you, and I had to learn this, and I'm still in the process, but if you at that tender age where you can just say, you know what, my friends don't believe in me, I'm not hanging with them no more. Don't hang with them. I'm so serious about that. Don't hang with people that detrimental to your progress.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that really rubs off on you. Like, their complacency, their ideologies definitely rub on you. And, like,
that wave.
Like, people just really don't care about people anyway, genuinely anymore. So, pursue your passion. Pursue it. And I believe in you if nobody else tells you. I believe in you. Trust me.
Well, I'm about to go ahead and go tell my wife and tell my boss that I quit, and I'm gonna tell them that Swade told me, and when my kids don't have any food, hopefully Swade cut me a check every now and then, because I told her, I'm gonna tell him I'm following my passion.
No, don't do that.
All right, this is the SMEDC podcast. This is my brother Swade, man. I hope y'all enjoyed everything. Peace. Man, we had got long-winded on that one. Like I said, this is the SMEDC podcast. That brother you just heard, with all that knowledge and that good vibe and energy and whatnot, and hopefully I'm about to, not hopefully, I'm about to play you some music. You also check his music out. I'm sure you heard the Queen track, Up Under Us Talking. That's also on there. That's his track called Queen, for the women out here who are queens. But like I said, that brother right there was Swade. Like I said, check out his Instagram, Music by Swade, his website, www.thentherewasswade.com. I'm about to hop off into one of his tracks. It's called Faith. It's off of I Became. Like I said, this is the SMEDC podcast. That was the brother Swade, and this is his track called Faith. Check it out. Let me know what you think.
Here comes the introduction. Here comes the introduction. Man, fuck the introduction. You come in with something, or you gon' leave with nothing. Or you gon' leave with nothing. I think I got this coded. With no leverage, they fearing every record. With no title, but yet I'm well respected. Hold all applause till my curtain call. Feeling like MJ in 84. I came to ball. I'm the man. You ain't getting it, well, check the memo. I set the tempo like Kobe after the winning free throw. Y'all ain't ready, y'all ain't here. Do you really fucking feel this? Now you frontin', must be hating. Man, these niggas in they feelings. I can't stand it. Focus on the life I live. I'm focused cause my life to now ain't really shit. Or honest to my maker cause I made it through his favor. Kiss my mother on the forehead when I give her acres. Why I know you love this shit. Your daughter gon' have the world like she birthed this shit. I told him I got him, no need for mention. I'm doing it just to do it. I'm Nike without the switch print. In the era where they favor the masses. Dying for all acceptance, they dying from all the pressure. They rather be down than be labeled honest just for a second. I won't linger, they just lost in the moment. I hope he find his way before he find a woman. I hope she finish school before she finish fucking. My cup over running with all my sins. Just tell April I'm sorry she blocked me. Guess that's what I get. Why she finding love, I'm finding excuses. After this, they won't question the truest. They won't question I'm the man with no applause. Even niggas that dap me ain't really down for the cause. Fuck. Never linger, just attack with precision. Yeah, he claiming, but I'm bagging these bitches. Off topic, but microscopic dreams with tunnel vision. I envision rapping with tons of screams. Wait. This gon' be your year, boy. Third person point of view, and views is always straight from you. Though you the one they mention, would never mention who speaks the truth. Yes, these niggas be hating. We'll call it that, but your actions is speaking volumes, nigga. And with no actions invalid, they'll reap this progress with it. Oh yeah. So they doubt you to know your weakness, infiltrate for the secrets. Awareness has got me seeking a new path without the leeches. Just mad they ceasing the bleachers. My bad, I only see greatness. Fuck that, I only embrace this. I am Swade, I became. This is all that I seen. Who made me? What shaped me? All the trials, all my pain. Hope you feel.
Man, did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch them lines, them bars? Man, I think it was one joke I heard. What he said? He said, "Ra, your daughter gonna have the world like she birthed it." Man, you gotta check that out and really listen. There's some jewels in there, man. Like I said, that's my brother Swade, man. The dude is nice. Can't put it past him, man. The dude, like he said, this is his year. This is 2016. Like I said, you can catch all this music or info or hit them up for whatever booking shows, whatever verses, features, whatever at www.thenThereWasSwade.com. Like I said, I know this podcast, episode 2, got a little bit winded. But hey, when you're dealing with a topic that we dealt with and you're dealing with a artist such as Swade, hey man, sometimes it runs that long. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. What I am going to leave y'all with is a preview of the Memories track, man. Like I said, this is the SMEDC podcast. We are here for information, education, inspiration, man. Information, education, inspiration. Yeah, all that stuff, all that good stuff. Like I said, if you like any of those tracks, You like the Swade track, make sure you go show him love on his page, follow him, like him, whatever. Then www.thenthereswade.com. Or if you like any of the tracks that I played, that's mine, you know, you can send $1 to my PayPal account, ARKINGHOLL @gmail.com, and I'll send you MP3 to those tracks. Questions, comments, like, share, subscribe. Please do all those things. What else, man? Oh yeah, thank God, man. You know, thank God that we're here. Thank God that we're allowed to do this. That I'm here to be able to do that. And you know, keep it going and keep it moving, man. Everybody stay blessed. Everybody stay safe, man. All love, no shade. This is the SMEDC Podcast. Make sure you check out this track called Memories. Peace.
Have you ever lost somebody? Have you ever lost somebody? Missing everything about them. It just feels like you lost yourself. Have you ever lost somebody? Have you ever lost somebody? Missing everything about them. It just feels like you lost yourself.
I ain't gon' lie, I've been sipping lately. Crown Royal and an absolute with me, baby. I've been losing my